I think I've learned a lot throughout the rehearsal process, because before I didn't really think about the fact that we all get older and older and older. And now whenever I go out on the streets, I see old people and I imagine to be them, and I imagine what decisions I have made till the point that I'm old. So that's something that's changed throughout the process, and that's how my attitude changed, because I think I'm a lot more aware of what decisions I make in my life now, in a way.
And what do you think are the advantages as a director? The advantages or the assets of a theatrical approach to the subject?
I think a stage is like a laboratory where we can experiment with different decisions, for example. So we can imagine if somebody made a decision at some point in his or her life, what would happen after that? How would that influence this person in 20 years, in 30 years? And we can imagine what it will be like on stage, and we can also tell a tale about that person in a funny way maybe, or an interesting way, or a sad way. And no matter which way we choose, the audience will reflect about that decision. So that's probably the advantage of a theatrical approach of this topic, aging.
Let's do some imagining and think that you might be a new politician. What would be your political statement? Would you have one, or you prefer not to?
As a politician, concerning
aging.
Well, I think that this topic is not present enough in our society. It's not spoken about so often, that we get older and older. You can find headlines about that, but I think it should become a lot more transparent that there will be consequences for our society. And if I were a politician, I'd concentrate on that, and I try to make it more public, and that way give the public more possibilities to decide what they want to do with their lives, when they imagine that they become maybe 120 years old, that also society will change in demographics concerning immigrants coming to Europe and working, that there will be no young people, or really few young people who will be able to work. That way our lives will become very different, and I think it's important to inform the public about that. Not so much to influence that change, but to inform people so they can react to it.
Okay. So on a less serious note, but keeping the imagining thing, if you were to be the character in the Romanian folk tale of youth without old age, and you were to, you were to choose whether you want to come into the world or not, knowing that it's such a short run, what would convince you to come?
First of all, I'd say I would be convinced, I would want to come into this world, and I would be convinced by human warmth, the way we deal with each other, by friends. If somebody told me, on this planet Earth we've got the possibility to meet people who are friends, and you can have a good time with them, and if somebody was to explain that to me in a very practical manner, if I could really imagine what it's like to have friends, then of course I'd say yes, it's worth to come onto this planet.